I am speed. I am a track like no other. Hallowed ground. Timeless. A history older than NASCAR. I am rubber meeting brick. I am legends, those already made, and those in the making. I am 2 weeks of anticipation. I am the biggest crowd. Hearts on sleeves. I am passion. I am 43. I am pulse-pounding action. Exhilaration. I am heartbreak.
Something's wrong with Ernie. Thank you, NASCAR, for screwing my day.
Unforgiving. I am a battle to the end.
A race for the lead down the backstretch.
A checkered flag.
Yeah!
A dream come true. I am cameras flashing. A celebration. A who's who in victory lane. I am a kiss. I am Indy.
In the century-old racing tradition of the Brickyard, the NASCAR chapter is short but huge. Only a handful of drivers can say they won here, and recently a win can mean a championship down the road. We have a chance to witness history today, and Jimmy Johnson could once again be the man to do it. It's one of the best-known sporting venues in all of the world, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and it is one of the most coveted prizes in stock car racing, a Brickyard trophy. It is a place where legends are made and the first place to ever be called a speedway. Welcome, everyone, to NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot after a weekend off. We are rested and ready and fired up for 400 miles of racing. Good morning, everybody, and thanks for joining us. I'm John Roberts, alongside of three-time champion Darrell Waltrip. Kyle Petty is back with us after a break, and race car driver number 28, Kenna Wallace. And guys, suffice it to say, this place is cool. And how's this for a number for you? 8 of the last 12 winners here at this racetrack, Darrell, have gone on to win the championship.
Yeah, you know, coming here and racing, it just elevated our sport. And listen, think about it this way, Kyle. This place been here 100 years. We've been here 17. We're still building our history.
Definitely still building it.
I feel like when we come to Indy, it's like, I know it's a NASCAR race, but it doesn't seem like it. It seems like it's one race in moment in time. It's like, do these guys want to go for the championship? Are they thinking points? I think not. I think every driver, every team that comes here, they get ready for this race only, and they want to win it. And that's all there is to it.
And there's a couple of races, and there are a couple of events in other sports. But in our event, in our sport, we have the Daytona 500. It's an event that transcends the sport. This is an event that transcends. It's like the Masters. You know what I mean? This is like the Masters for us as far as that goes. So this is a big deal.
Yeah, I think we've over-delivered. You know, when we came here, there were a lot of skeptics. Said, stock car can't run around that racetrack. The track's too flat and the cars will be too slow. We have over-delivered.
They were racing purists said, how can these stock cars, these taxi cabs, come in here and invade this hallowed ground?
And it was almost illegal for us to come here. They said, how dare a taxi cab? Yeah. They called us taxi cabs, even though we got full-body cars. But like you say, Darrell, I think we've over-delivered. Kyle, we've seen side-by-side action. These taxi cabs that are NASCAR Cup cars have done a good job, put on a good show.
It's almost a big contradiction because when we come here, we talk about this race and the winner of this race going on to be the champion. But then again, we forget about points because no one comes into Indy and says, man, I hope I have a real good points day. They want the trophy.
I heard Tony Stewart say this morning, no one that wins here is a slouch.
No.
Everybody that's ever won here, whether it's in a stock car or an Indy car or whatever, a Formula One car, there are no slouches that win at Indy.
But the only guys, you know, you talk about the championship, you talk about the points. The only guys that are concerned are the guys that are 8th or 9th and 13th or 14th. They're still racing for points. Now, do they want to be a Indy champion? Do they want to be a Brickyard champion? Yeah. You know, we only have 2 races, the Daytona 500 and Indy, that we consider and we call the guy a Brickyard champion. We don't say that about Bristol. We don't say that about other places. That's this place.
Since this is such a special event, we have a special assignment for our good friend Kenny
Yes.
Wallace. No one can do it like Kenny to show the fans exactly how cool this place is.
I wanted Daryl and Kyle to come with me, but it's a lot of work. So I got my running shoes on.
Yes, he does. Yeah,
I'm
he
going
does.
to show you every place I can show you here at the Brickyard.
And there are
I'm
some
gonna
cool
watch it.
places
I'm gonna
to
watch
see.
it.
Here I go. I'll see you all later.
All right, man.
But take my sunglasses because my future's so bright, I've got to wear shades.
I'm going to keep your seat warm because you're coming back with us, bud.
All right, so there goes Kenny Wallace to get the real lowdown around this racetrack. But now let's head down to Gasoline Alley, another famous place where you can feel the excitement right now, and join Wendy Venturini. Wendy?
Thank you, Johnny. Hermie Sadler and I have a pretty cool spot here in the garage area. It was pouring at 6 o'clock this morning, but the good news is the rain is gone out of Indianapolis. Bright and sunny conditions for today. Now, the big story, Chip Ganassi, the owner, can he make it the Triple Crown today? Of course, he won the Daytona 500 with Jamie McMurray, Hermie, and then he went on to win the Indy 500 with Dario Franchitti. If he won today, this would be huge for Chip Ganassi.
And they came here with 2 race cars that are capable of winning this race, Jamie McMurray and Juan Pablo Montoya. Think back to 1 year ago at this race, Juan Pablo Montoya. He comes down, leads 116 laps, has a speeding penalty on pit road. He does not win. How do they come back this year? They come back to the tire test in April, a brand new race car. Been fast since April here at this racetrack. He qualifies on the pole, Wendy. Either one of these cars for Chip Ganassi could get to victory lane and get this thing done for Chip Ganassi.
Yeah, Juan is definitely looking for some redemption, and Chip Ganassi wants to make it the triple threat. We'll hear from him later on in race day. Another team everybody's been talking about this weekend, Richard Childress Racing. They are really strong today, Hermie.
Yeah, both of their cars, all 3 of their cars qualified in the top 10. And in the next to last practice here, those cars were 1, 2, 3 in practice. Now, the thing with Richard Childress Racing this year is they've had fast cars, have not been able to capitalize on a lot of them, other than Kevin Harvick's 2 victories. They need to turn some of these fast cars into wins. No better place to do it than the Brickyard for RCR.
And we'll hear from Clint Boyer later on in race day. And finally, we got to talk about Jimmy Johnson. He and Chad Knaus have a very meticulous setup for today. 8 starts at the Brickyard 400. 3 of them have been wins. Can't count them out.
Yeah, they got 3 wins, and all their other finishes seem like they're outside the top 30, but they're ready for this race, Wendy. They're 5 wins so far this year, looking for another to get those bonus points, and we'll also get a chance to talk to the champ, Jimmy Johnson, later on race day.
Yeah, I look forward to what he has to tell you later on. Johnny, well, we have a full show planned here on NASCAR Race Day. We'll bring it all, and Kenny will give you the sights and sounds of this racetrack.
We got 2 hours of fun, history, and information coming your way on NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot. But when we come back, we will hear what the points leader has to say about this race and his run for the championship. It's the Brickyard 400 edition of NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot. Don't go anywhere.
The bad news for Gordon, he's winless in the last 48 races. The good news, he's hotter than just about any other driver. After Jeff's 600th start came and went in Chicago, we'll show you why he could see brighter days ahead. Starting with those 4 Brickyard wins. Coming at you, NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot.
NASCAR Race Day is built by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Brought to you in part by new Wheaties Fuel. Prepare to win. And by Atlanta Motor Speedway. Night racing returns to Atlanta Motor Speedway for the largest Labor Day weekend celebration in the country, September 4th and 5th.
It's the shot heard round the racing world. When the cannon goes off, that means it is time for the fans to come in to the hallowed grounds of the Brickyard and get ready for the Brickyard 400, one of the biggest events on NASCAR's Sprint Cup Series. Our points leader, Kevin Harvick, has a lot on his mind right now, and most of it is good stuff. He's going for the championship, but he also loves racing at this track.
You know, for me, I grew up wanting, this is where I wanted to race. I wanted to race Indy cars, and my dad would have nothing of it. Being from Bakersfield, I always, you know, grew up a Rick Mears fan, and you know, with him winning 4 Indianapolis 500s, this was a place that I always wanted to win. So for me personally, this was, you know, probably one of the neatest places that you can come to and win and you know, get to experience kissing the bricks and climbing the fence, and you do whatever it takes to try to win this race.
The underlying theme of this race may not be points, gentlemen, but we still have to look at them because it's still a points-paying race. And right now, Kevin Harvick has a 103-point lead over Jeff Gordon.
Yeah, I know you want to win this thing. Everybody does. But, you know, you're not going to throw away a good points day, especially if you're down here in the bottom half of the top 12. There's guys that have got to get in that top 12. Mark Martindale Jr., David Rudiman's making a nice run. But there's guys up here at the top, Kyle, that have a cushion. They can kind of do whatever they want to, gamble if they want.
We saw Juan last year. Juan just threw this race away. He went for the win. He didn't care about points because he was in that position. I think when you look at it now, there's guys that are 8th, 9th, and 10th, Carl, Biffle, those guys. Do they want to win? Yeah, they want to win. But you know what they want more than that? They want a championship trophy at the end. And you've got to get in the chase, and there's only 5 or 6 races left, so they got to make this race count.
And another thing that makes the guys throw everything to the win when it comes to the victory here, not only do you get that trophy, but let's not forget there's a lot of cash on the line here. There's a big check for the winner.
Oh, it pays a lot of money, but a couple other things, JR, too, that we didn't talk about. Pit selection, 48 cars in the 42 cars in the best spot. You run out of gas here, you're talking about gambling, you're done.
Yeah, it's over.
You're going to have to get somebody to push you in because you're not going to make it all the way back around. So a lot of things to consider when you sit on the pit box today.
Now, in the current economic climate in our country, a lot of foundations and charities are hurting right now. It's just a matter of fact. But not the Jeff Gordon Foundation. Last Thursday night, they put on an event that was second to none over to Bowling Alley right next to the racetrack here in Indianapolis. It was for the Jeff Gordon Children's Foundation. And by the time all was said and done, they had over $250,000 raised. Juan Pablo Montoya was there. There's the champ himself, Jeff Gordon, who is a really good bowler, by the way. And you know what? Even Chad Knaus is good at bowling, too, you know? For more information, you can go to jeffgordonfoundation.org. It was a fun event. It was all for the children. And although some teams, I won't name any names, didn't bowl very well, nonetheless, we had a good time. And Jeff Gordon is really going to have a good time if he can hoist this Brickyard trophy for the 5th time in his career.
You know, I was looking at some of the stats because I was being reminded of 600 races and all the things that have happened over those years. And there was a few years where we were winning like every 3rd or 4th race. Now we win 3 every 100. So I sure would like to get back to some of those winning ways.
Jeff Gordon has won the Bud at the Glen. Gordon wins the Sharpie 500 at Bristol. Jeff Gordon ties Dale Earnhardt.
Jeff Gordon, I got a special flag for you. Come and get it.
There was a time when Jeff Gordon was untouchable.
Here comes Gordon.
From 1995 to 2001, the kid notched 4 championships while amassing 56 wins over those 7 years, averaging 8 trips to victory lane a year.
Yes, you did! How many times I gotta do it? I'm getting the
But over the last 96 starts, the 24 has seen checkers only once. Not since Texas, 49 long races ago.
Yes, you guys got me a win in Texas. I love you. Woo!
Over the last 3 seasons, the 24 has consistently been there at the end.
We're going to have to figure out how to win these ones on these late cautions. So settle for second, but certainly getting plenty of practice at it.
In fact, he and teammate Jimmy Johnson both have 39 top 5s during that stretch. However, one 4-time champ has 19 wins, while the other, well, isn't even close.
Oh, man, we're in big trouble here.
But Jeff Gordon is close, real close, to a return to victory lane.
Yeah, but we'll talk about it tomorrow. Yeah, we need to do better when we come back.
Currently second in points to Kevin Harvick, he's on quite the hot streak. His last 5 races have all been top 5s.
Jeff Gordon, with his good run tonight and some of the others' misfortune, has gained 3 positions in the points.
And nice job there, guys. Everybody, that's the way to bring home a 1 piece, man. You did a great job missing them all. It's a hell of an effort.
No one else can say that.
At times looked like our DuPont Chevy was the car to beat, but I knew David was really, really strong. Made some adjustments on that last pit stop. Unfortunately, it didn't go the right way for us, so, you know, we fell back to 3rd.
Though, as everyone knows, close only counts in horseshoes.
Only 9 NASCAR Sprint Cup Series drivers have won at this racetrack, and Jeff Gordon leads them all with 4. If he could get his 5th victory here, that would put him in some very big-time company at this racetrack throughout all types of motorsports disciplines. But that's not what's on Jeff Gordon's mind right now.
Yeah, the significance of it is huge for us. I mean, we're trying to win our first race. we've won 4 and 5 would be incredible, but I'm really not even thinking about 5. It's really more about thinking about getting our first win. And what's ironic about this event is that all year long everybody's focused on 24 hasn't won, and the 48's won 5 and Hamlin's won 4. All we have to do is win this race this weekend, and all of a sudden we'll be the favorite for the championship based on where we're at in the points and that big of a win. And that's how big this weekend is for us.
Yeah, Jeff put it exactly right. That's huge. But what's huge this year, Kyle, is winning. People are looking at Jeff Gordon, the 24. They're second in points, and everybody's saying, what's wrong just because they haven't won? Yeah, but you have to win the championship. Jeff and Steve said it early in the year. We can't just finish second, third, fourth, and fifth and expect to beat Jimmy Johnson. And that's the same thing the 29 team faces. I think Harvick and those guys face that. They've got to put up some W's. You look at the 11 of Denny Hamlin, and you look at the 48. Those guys are my pick to win the championship right now because they can put the car in victory lane. The 24 car has to be. But just like Jeff just said, if we can get it in victory lane here at Indy, that erases all 5 wins that Jimmy has and all 4 or 4 or 5 that the other guys have. That makes a statement. Second in points and you win here, that makes a statement.
Kyle, what do you think, though? He's come so close.
Oh, yeah.
But he's got snookered on restarts.
Yeah.
He's got bumped out of the way. At this point in your career, don't you think that maybe you start doubting yourself? Maybe you start thinking, maybe I can't get it done anymore.
I don't think Jeff doubts that he can get it done, but what I do think is these other guys don't show Jeff the respect that he deserves as a 4-time champion and the win that he has. They knock him out of the way. They fake him out. They do stuff that he used to do to you and me and everybody else that was out there and just kick our butt 6 ways from Sunday. The level of competition has come up, okay? And Jeff is there, but he just needs to be that much better, and that's all it takes.
All right,
what goes around
comes around. Yes, it does.
And Jeff won the first one here, and he's a native of nearby Pittsburgh, Indiana. So got to watch out for the inaugural race winner, Jeff Gordon. But also, we got to keep our eye on the number 48 team. They've won 3 out of the last 4 and are looking to go 3 in a row. Crew Chief Chad Knaus has his eyes on the prize. We'll talk about heartbreak when we come back.
We know he has trouble sitting still, so we're sending Herm on a 2010 track odyssey. Kenny takes a tour and shows you some of IMS's best sights, from the links to the pagoda and everything in between. Stay tuned for some Wallace madness. NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot.
It's known as the Loop, or even Peyton's Place. No matter what you want to call it, the Indianapolis Colts call it home. Lucas Oil Stadium opened its doors and retractable roof in August 2008 for the Colts season opener against the Buffalo Bills. The beautiful stadium is scheduled to host Super Bowl 36 in 36 in 2012. They had 26 a long time ago. And also, Conseco Fieldhouse is the home court to both the NBA's Indiana Pacers and the WNBA's Indiana Fever, and it is also where former Tar Heel standout Tyler Hansbrough plays, and it is home of lots of great basketball, especially in a state like Indiana that believes in basketball and believes in their racing as well. And there is nothing quite like the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and we figured that no one could show it to you better than our good friend Kenny Wallace. Kenny, take it away, bud.
Hey, gang, look at me. I'm up here on the pagoda. This is designed after a Japanese structure, but listen, 1909, Indy was built, and the very first pagoda burnt down. Now, I got to tell you something. This is an incredible height we're at, and I'm going to look over here. Check this view out of the bricks. You see the car of Jamie McMurray. He qualified 3rd. He's there. People are pretending below here to kiss the bricks. Now, right now, we're standing on top of what we call the second spotter stand. Look at this. Just a little bit of old wood, nothing nice. Now, I'm going to show you where the main spotters are. This is the second spotter stand. Kind of fun. So here we go. Hey, cameraman, don't bust your butt. I'm going to make sure I don't. Here we go. This is all the way top here. Hey, while we're walking across, you got to have special clearance. And I can't show you, but this is my clearance badge. Here we go, gang. This is where the main spotters are. Look at this, a nice aluminum structure. The big boys are over here. This is Big Rent District. Now, all I can tell you is I don't think I've ever seen a view like this at any racetrack. Check this out. Turns 1, turns 2, the back straightaway, the golf course. Look here, race fans, I bet you didn't know. There's a lake in the middle of the racetrack. And, of course, later on, see that turn 3 over there? That was the scene of the crime between Kurt Busch and Jimmy Spencer. over here off of turn 4. So as you can simply tell, the spotters can see just about everything here. And this is the main spotter stand. And this is a pretty incredible sight, JR.
Man, it looks nice up there, Kenny. Really gives you an idea how huge this facility really is when you get up that high, doesn't it?
It sure doesn't. Look here. You see all the souvenir trailers. Watch here. Let me show you some really cool live stuff. We can even spy on these tractor trailers. Look at all the race fans down here. Those are the Sprint Cup tractor trailers. As you see the cars going through tech here of this high view, we have the NASCAR Sprint trailer. We see Casey Kane going through tech, a big line. And then below me is where all the fans gather. Looky here. The fans are here at 5:30, 6 in the morning. Of course, they at 7 o'clock, they blow a bomb up. And they've been doing that history for years. They blow the bomb up. It's not a bomb. It's a big bang like that. And everybody comes in. Yeah, it's a cannon. Thank you, Teddy. It's a cannon, and that officially opens the gates. So if you're here at 7 o'clock, you say as a fan, what can I do? And look below. They all hang out here. They got a concert stage. And just let me show you that there's our TV compound to the left over there. That's where we get prepared for the show. And that is a great view. And I will be over there golfing in a little bit, so stay tuned. I'm going to take me a big old #1 pizza wood driver. I don't know, I might hit a pizza instead of golf ball. How about it, JR?
You know you have a big racetrack when you got 4 golf balls inside of it. It still doesn't take up the whole way. And you know what? Kenny's kind of our only loose cannon on this program today, or at least one of several. Got to take a quick break, but when we come back, they have won in Sprint Cup before, but we'll tell you why they're dying to do it again today. Toyota Racing's Sponsorifier 2 is on. Everyone's favorite Cup Design Contest is back with new features and prizes. The grand prize is a trip to the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series race at Phoenix, where the winning design will be displayed on an actual Toyota Cup car. Enter today at toyotaracing.com. Now, you have to go back 2 weeks ago to find it, but it was one of the more popular victories we've seen in Sprint Cup racing in a while. David Rudiman at Chicagoland Speedway showed us why nice guys can finish first, and it was very big for David because he got to erase the victory where it was a rain-shortened race. This one, no rain, nothing but checkered flags, and a victory for the 00. Let's go down now to Hermie Sadler.
Yeah, we're catching up with David Rudiman, and obviously a big weekend for you guys a couple weekends ago at Chicagoland. And you never want to say one win is better than the other, but after all the stuff with Charlotte, getting the win that way, to drive up and pass a 4-time champion and drive away, that's got to be a pretty cool way to get win #2.
Yeah, I mean, it's as a driver, you know, I mean, that's what you want to do. You want to go out and have the best car for that given day, and we had a great car from the time we unloaded till the end of the race, and still. It's a really special moment having an opportunity to race with Jeff Gordon. In the past, I haven't had a lot of opportunity to race with him. He's usually been a lot faster than we are. But my guys have done a great job, and they brought me a great car, and his team continues to come together on a weekly basis.
Well, you guys quietly have been fast all year long. I mean, you run up front, led some races, but it seems like recently you're taking those cars to the end and getting the finishes you need to get back in the points. And you said a couple months ago, no way we're going to make this chase. And now you guys are right there in position to get it done.
Yeah, we are. I mean, we were back as far as 30th in points at one point, and then now we're kind of struggled and clawed our way back in. And it just all, goes back to the guys. It all starts in the fab shop and goes all the way through the entire organization. The guys are building us great race cars. And you're right, we have been running good. We just had a lot of things that were keeping us from getting the finishes we needed, and I think we're starting to turn that around a little bit.
And some other news from you signed an extension with Michael Waltrip Racing. Now, if the ink hadn't dried yet, I see Ty Norris behind me, and now's a good time maybe I can help you get a couple zeros added to this contract after this big win.
Well, with Michael Waltrip's is my boss, and he's pretty tight with $1. So I'm happy with what I got. I'm not sure I'm going to get any more, and I'm glad to be with Michael Waltrip Racing for the next couple of years, and as well as having Aaron sign back on. That's huge. Aaron stepping up yet again, and being our primary for 30 some odd races. So that's really exciting.
Well, a lot of good stuff going on at Michael Waltrip Racing. He's got a fast car here today. Finished 8th here last year, Wendy. He's looking to improve on that today.
And coming into Indianapolis, Clint Boyer has tied his best finish of 2010 at Chicagoland, a 4th 2 weeks ago. Seems like ages ago. How confident do you feel about today? Because you have momentum on your side, you have a super fast race car, and it's pretty good looking today.
Yeah, absolutely. Very excited about the Wheaties Fuel promotion that we've got. I tell you, if you haven't tried this, get out to the stores and get it. This is yours.
Oh, thanks. I need some fuel.
We got a little one for you, but just the guys have worked very hard on building a brand new race car for us, and the steam under the hood is second to none. We're excited. I think it's going to be a good day. It's been a good weekend so far. We've qualified up front, was fast in practice, and we're going to go get them.
All right, talk about this draft. We've talked about Indianapolis. You almost have a draft with these long straightaways. What does it feel like in the race car to you compared to other racetracks?
It's definitely different because the straightaways are so long. You got to be able to get off the corners. No different than, a place like Pocono and things like that. Getting off the corner, keeping that momentum is very crucial, but that horsepower under the hood helps a lot in that draft.
All right, you have something of an advantage. Being in the top 12, you're 15 points ahead of 13th. So, with the fast race car, are you going for a win, Clint, or are you going for points today?
Well, you're always here to win. It's a long ways over here, but, we got to take care of business. We got to be in this chase. 7 races to go. Very, very important to all of us at RCR to get all 3 cars in. So I'm the last one, and, I feel like our cars are fast enough. They have been all year long. If we can get some of this bad luck behind us and get another couple runs like we had at Chicago a couple weeks ago, we're going to be just fine.
All right, well, good luck today, Johnny, and Clint Boyer will start 6th.
All right, Wendy, those guys have a great weekend going so far. All 3 race cars are fast, and all 3 with a shot to win for Richard Childress Racing. Now, here's a question for you. Where at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway can Kenny Wallace do the most damage? I think we can answer that question when we come back to NASCAR. Oh, look at there. Not bad, Kenny. That's pretty good form.
I don't feel good about this.
So close, yet so far. It's bad enough to lose a race, but it hurts a little more at Indy than at most tracks. These guys almost tasted victory on this hallowed ground, but came up just short. We'll flash back and play Heartbreaker all over again. Around the Turn, NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot.
Welcome back, everyone, to NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot. We are coming to you live from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway site of today's running of the Brickyard 400 with 250,000 seats. This is one of the largest sporting venues in all of the world. If you add all the infield seating, you could potentially put 400,000 race fans in this racetrack. Now, we have all experienced heartbreak on and off the racetrack so far this NASCAR season, but there is always one driver who comes to this track and says, hey, maybe today is going to be my day. Sometimes it works out, other times it ends in heartbreak.
It's race day at the most famous race course in the world, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. No place is more hallowed ground in the sport than Indianapolis.
The world's greatest race course, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Drivers dream about racing here. Racers dream about winning here.
Urban moves to the inside and challenges Jeff down the backstretch.
Oh, here we go. Ernie slipped going in 1. Ernie slipped, and Jeff Gordon gets alongside. And something's wrong with Ernie. Something has happened to the 28 car, Bob.
Urban slows down and is going to lose second position.
A tire. He's got a tire going down.
Jeff Gordon, winner of the inaugural Brickyard 400.
What a great race.
Ernie Irvin now in front. And Dale is just waiting on Ernie to make that one little slip that is going to give him the advantage.
And to go, the only way he can get you is if he gets under you. Be smart, be smooth.
Oh, here we go. For the lead, for the lead. Jarrett goes to the inside in the second corner and comes out with the lead. Dale Jarrett has won the Brickyard 400.
This could be it.
The battle up front is an intense one. Bobby Lamonte has grabbed the lead from Rusty Wallace. Bobby Lamonte from Corpus Christi, Texas, wins the 7th Brickyard 400 at Indianapolis.
For the first time in his stock car career, Juan Pablo Montoya is leading at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
The Montoya's car is just so strong from the start of the race. He has the car today to really beat.
On pit road, gentlemen. On pit road. We're starting the gas, guys.
There comes the leader, Juan Pablo Montoya, for his final stop. If they get a good, clean stop, it's his race, basically, to hang on to win.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop. Perfect. Stop.
They're going to make a slight air pressure adjustment, a half pound up on the right rear. Otherwise, things are good for Juan Pablo.
Go hard, all the way out, all the way out, all the way out, all the way.
42 car was too fast on pit road in 2 different segments.
Too fast entering, pass through. Oh wait, I was on this, I was already on it. I guarantee you, I bet you money, I was on it. I was on the yellow when it came in.
This is going to be devastating.
Never badmouth NASCAR, but if they do this to me, I'm going to kill them. Because I need no speed coming in. The pass through, dude. They caught it. Pass through.
Man, this is heartbreaking.
Thank you, NASCAR, for screwing my day. Relax. What do you want me to relax, dude? We had this in the bag.
Oh, that's such a hard thing to witness, that heartbreak for Juan Pablo Montoya, because not only if you don't make it at this race, you have to wait a whole other year to come back. And also at events this big, sometimes it's not all about who wins, but who loses.
You know, and you're right, JR. The thing about it, who remembers who ran second here last year?
Oh, thank you, Darrell Waltrip. Thank you. Nobody cares either.
Nobody cares.
That's exactly
Nobody
right.
cares. But you know what I was noticing in that piece there? If we'd have had green-white checkers, the outcome of a bunch of those races may have been a little bit different.
May have been a lot different. But you know what? That's an interesting point. Someone always wins, but there's one guy. I mean, there's 42 of them that go home losers. But one guy always gives the race away or something happens to him, and he's had a good car. And that seems to be the way this race plays out. As much as Daytona does, as you look at the history of the big races, some guy always gives it up or his team gives it up or something happens that takes them out. And all but for the grace of God, there go I. I could be standing in victory lane.
And as many races as you guys both have won, you know that any win in and of itself in the Sprint Cup Series is so difficult to get. So many things have to come together.
That's what I was going to say when they interviewed Rudeman a minute ago and they said something about his first win. I never had a bad win. Did you ever have a bad win?
No, there's no such thing.
And unlike a lot of these guys, I remember every one of them, and I celebrate big time after every one of them. But you know what? The thing about this place is it's such a special place. It has so much pressure that goes with it that it's easy for even the best drivers to make mistakes here. And we've seen that a number of times.
Yeah, 42 of them are going to be losers today in some way, shape, or form. And that's the tough part about this sport. You know what breaks our heart right here, right now, is the fact that we're not with Kenny Wallace playing golf. Kenny, you get to have all the fun, man.
Hey, thanks, JR. Listen to this. We're inside the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. 18-hole golf course. Of course, 4 of the holes are right here outside turn 2. Now, I have golf pro Jeff Williams. Now, this is pretty incredible. You would think, just a little golf course. They got a pro here. Now, Jeff, I need a ball because I'm on the 7th hole, and I'm going to drive a ball for all of you because I'm not afraid of making a fool out of myself, like my brother Rusty. Here we go.
All right, Kenny Wallace, he's eyeing the ball. Ooh. Oh, he's got to be happy with that one.
Oh, no. I need another one.
It sounded, JR.
Kenny, hey, Kenny, did that go past the ladies' tee?
It sounded short, JR.
Yeah.
It sounded.
Quiet, please, quiet.
Oh,
there you go,
that
Kenny.
Was nice.
Hey, what about those people down there, Kenny?
Now
did you
that
hit
I've
those
the
people?
Ball,
at least he could find that first one.
Hey, it's on the green. Now watch this. Now, not just is it the Brickyard 400, but watch what the Herminator does. Watch here. Here we go. Kenny Walrus. Right here, race fans. Number 36. Now, get a smiley face.
Oh, boy.
Now.
And get arrested for vandalism.
But let me tell you something. As Darrell Waltrip and Kyle know, sometimes we have enemies on the racetrack, don't we? So if any of these drivers make me mad today, I have turn 2 right here. Hey, Jeff, give me a golf ball. I'm going to hit one of these Sprint Cup cars as they come off at turn 2. Come on, give me a ball. Why won't you give me a ball? Hey, we need a debris caution. So I'll hit a golf ball out there, or I'm going to hit Kyle Busch's car for all of you fans.
No. Boy, the Wallaces are hard on poor Kyle.
Before I get in any more trouble, I'm going to send it back to JR. So I'm still going to hit a car. What lap? Lap 5. I'm going to hit a car off turn 2.
Let that pro hit one on the green.
Probably a pretty good idea that we take it away from Kenny right now. But remember in the famous movie Caddyshack, when Rodney Dangerfield swung the golf club, it was one of the ugliest sights we've ever seen until we put together some video of some other famous golf swings.
Uh-oh.
There's Kenny. There's Darrell.
Darrell.
You know, actually, those weren't really that bad.
No, they weren't. They were
Not
good.
that bad.
Wow.
That is enough golf. Now we got to turn our minds back to racing as we're going to tell you the history of this great race here at the Brickyard 400. We'll have much more on NASCAR Race Day built by the Home Depot when we come back to Indy.
The Brickyard oozes tradition. And why not? They've been racing here for over 100 years. Our pal Ken Squire drops by to let you in on Indy's little secrets. From the first tires to hit the ground to last year's win for the 48. Heading your way, NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot.
You know, here at Race Day, built by the Home Depot, we are hoping for a top 4 finish in the Fantasy Racing Cup edition. If we get a top 4, I'd be really happy. Right now, we're running third. That's not setting our sights too high, is it, Daryl?
That's good.
There's only 4.
You got work to do.
I'm impressed. I am impressed.
You notice why Daryl didn't say anything? Because the only team we're beating is trackside. All right, NASCAR Race Hub is on top. Let's take a look at the 3 drivers we have picked for this weekend, and we decided to go with all past Brickyard winners. Kevin Harvick, Tony Stewart, and Bobby Labonte out of our A, B, and C groups. Any of these guys could pull off, can't really call it an upset, could pull off the win today from anywhere on this racetrack, because all you got to do is be in the game, and something fantastic can happen.
You know, I think Tony Stewart's going to be mad at you. Put him in the B group.
Well,
we did.
You got to understand why. There's rules, and you can understand why. There's rules.
We didn't do that.
Okay. Tony Stewart is not a B driver. That is not what we're saying. And I think Wendy Venturini.
I don't know, Smoke. I just.
Yeah. That's not us. That's not us.
Wendy agrees with us on that, but also you got to agree, Wendy, that Chip Ganassi is going for a very important Triple Crown today.
Yeah, I don't know who this we is picking that for. You have me standing here at Chip Ganassi, and you don't even pick a Ganassi driver? I think both your drivers, Chip, are awesome today. They're very, very strong. Both have a good chance. Are you feeling any pressure as an owner for this Triple Crown, they're calling it, for today?
You know, Wendy, it would be sure great to give something like that back to Target or back to Bass Pro. I mean, that'd be really special. But, you know, the fact of the matter is we got a race to run. You know, in one respect, you have to run it like you run any other race, but in another respect, this sure is a big one.
It sure is. You just walked out of the hauler where the team meeting took place. What kind of words of wisdom does Chip Ganassi give drivers Juan Pablo Montoya and Jamie McMurray before this race?
You know, just it's just simple. You know, you got to focus on the basic things here. You know, all the big things that can possibly happen will happen after the race. You know, but I mean, we have to focus on what happens from the green flag to the checkered flag, and you just need to have a mistake-free day.
What are you expecting out of today? The sun has kind of popped behind the clouds, so the weather's kind of changed on us, took a turn. Is that going to play with the strategy of your crew chiefs?
Maybe a little bit, but not much that every other crew chief won't have to deal with. I feel pretty good about it. I like our chances.
All right, so which pit box can we find you on today? That's a tough call. They're both good.
They're both good. I'll be on both of them.
All right, I'm sure. Like any car owner, he'll be going back and forth in between. Now let's head over to Hermie Sadler, who's got some good news in the garage area this weekend.
Well, Ryan Newman, it's already been a pretty big week for you guys. I think the public finally learned that you and your wife are expecting a child coming up later this year, so congratulations on that, first of all.
She's expecting it. I'm not carrying nothing.
Well, everything's going to be your fault when it happens, I promise you.
Oh, yeah, I'm ready for that, but yeah, we're expecting for sure.
Talk about this racetrack, a good qualifying run for you guys. I know this place is special to you as well. Can you win today?
We have the potential for sure. We have a good race car. It's just a matter, I think, of strategy and track position at the end of the race. I think if there's 30 cars, let's say, that have the potential to be a winning contender on that last stop, depending on what happens with tires. So we'll see what Mother Nature has to do with the racetrack and the weather, and what the strategy plays out like at the end.
Now, we're going to hear more about this later in the show, but you, like everybody else, was asked when you got here about the Carl Edwards, Brad Keselowski situation and what happened on the racetrack and how you think that should be remedied. You care to share those feelings with us? First of all, on the racetrack as a driver, you got to figure there's a line that you can't be crossed somewhere on the racetrack.
Yeah, there is that line. There is no doubt about that, and that's you know, people that turn right on somebody or people that intentionally crash somebody for their benefit is not good. Yeah, we can, you know, move each other out of the way and things like that, but you don't purposely crash yourself and potentially hurt somebody else or the entire field, and I don't think that was right. So, you know, neither here nor there. I don't expect a Christmas card from Carl, but that's my view of racing, whether it's Carl Edwards or Jeff Gordon or Jimmy Johnson or Tony Stewart or myself. So, you know, ultimately, I don't think what happened was right. I don't know that the justification penalty-wise was right, but, you know, all I said before is I think that people ask me what I thought about, you know, let them race, let the men be boys or boys be men or whatever you want to call it, and I think ultimately that should happen off the racetrack where we can go confront each other and straighten each other out with a little stare in the eye or a little punch here or there. But and that's what ultimately it should have come down to, not crashing a bunch of race cars and jeopardizing a bunch of other race car drivers and their equipment on the racetrack.
Yeah, I think some of that may be coming from his close relationship to his owner, Tony Stewart. When you crash race cars, these guys have got to pay for them to get them fixed as well. But that's Ryan Newman, strong opinions off the racetrack, and he'll be a factor on the racetrack today.
Hermie, thanks a lot. Still to come on this edition of NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot. We will continue to discuss that on-track rivalry between Keselowski and Edwards, and also the Dean of NASCAR will give us a little history lesson as some of the greatest drivers in the world get ready for 400 miles of a Sunday afternoon drive.
Gateway might be the latest chapter, but this squabble has quite a history. We'll show you how Carl and Brad had taken the have-at-it mantra to the extreme and tell you if there's any end to this quarrel in sight. Straight ahead, NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot.
Welcome back, everyone, to NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot. History could be made today, and Jimmy Johnson could be the driver to do it. He is going for 3 wins in a row at this prestigious event, but he has a lot of drivers chasing him to try to knock him off that championship perch, and Kevin Harvick is one of them. Comes in as our points leader, and Kevin has stood in victory lane after one of these Brickyard 400 races before. When it comes to racing in any type of discipline, there is nothing quite like the Indianapolis Motor Speedway with the short chutes and the long straightaways and the huge grandstands full of fans. There is nothing quite like racing at Indy, especially for stock car fans and the Brickyard 400. We are just a matter of hours away from the start time of this year's edition. Only 9 drivers have won at this track, and Jeff Gordon has led them all with 4 victories. As we mentioned earlier in the show, there's a 100-year history of racing here at the Brickyard, and only 16 of those years have been occupied by the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. Although the history is short, it is very rich, and no one can tell us better about it than our good friend Ken Squire.
Indianapolis. So what's the deal about race number 20 on the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series? Well, here's how one race lover discovered Indianapolis. As a kid, dragged around a half-mile fairgrounds where Dad was involved in calling horse racing, there was a golden moment at most large fairs when daredevil drivers in bullet-nosed, bobtailed, open-cockpit streamliners will duel danger in every turn. Indianapolis Speedway stars right here in front of your grandstand. Every Memorial Day, I developed a serious sickness. Year after year, had to forsake the family picnic, stay home to recuperate, listening to Sid Collins on the radio, describing the greatest spectacle in sport, the Indianapolis 500. Who needed tales of King Arthur and that round table stuff when one had Knights of the Roaring Road on their perilous quest? Rex Mays, the great Ted Horn, and the Iron Duke, Duke Nayland, and Bettenhausen, and Hurtubise, and Ruttman. They were cut in the hero image, and they made Indianapolis everything we wanted to believe in. And Indianapolis had attitude, an attitude that created the Daytona International Speedway. Bill France used to talk about pit-stooging Joel Thorne at Indy in the 30s. In the 40s, he crafted a new version of American auto racing, NASCAR. Indy reacted by turning a cold shoulder to Bill France into what they considered the Wild Bunch, even as they were rapidly gaining popularity. One year, Bill was asked to leave the grounds at Indy. Leave he did, and miraculously built his own 2.5-mile Daytona track, fulfilling his own vision of what racing could be. And over the next 40 years, the France family fine-tuned NASCAR into the giant sports entertainment that challenged the Indianapolis tradition. Now, for years it had been said the stock cars would never run at Indy. But times change and people change. No better example than Tony George, son of IndyCar driver Elmer George, the grandson of Tony Holman, that major force in advancing the Indianapolis 500. This Tony George broke with 85 years of Indy tradition. In 1994, Tony George gave NASCAR stock cars their day at the Brickyard.
The eyes of the entire sports world are focused at this moment on Indianapolis, Indiana. A new tradition begins as the green flag is about to come out to signal the beginning of the inaugural Brickyard 400.
And NASCAR reciprocated with a dramatic duel over the final laps until, with 4 to go, Ernie Irvan cut down a tire.
Irvan drops off the pace. He's got a tire going down.
A young sophomore, Jeff Gordon, claimed victory at the track, which had been his focus, like for so many others, since childhood. The stock car heroes have been new names to Indy, deserving names established as equal to, important as, those Memorial Day 500 heroes. Gordon, Earnhardt, Jarrett, Rudd, Labonte, Elliott, Harvick, Johnson, Stewart. They're part of the Indianapolis Hero Pantheon. NASCAR stock car stars who won at Indianapolis, where the great racers are valued, recognized, and remembered.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ken Squire. Nobody does it quite like Ken. Kenley, thank you very much. And when we talk about the history of this racetrack, again, it goes back so long with so many different names involved in this. But when we look at the modern day guys that are racing here, only 9 of them have claimed victory. This is a relatively short history for NASCAR.
So eloquently done by Ken Squire. I mean, what a great voice and what a great documentary about this place. But Cal, you know, there's things that you do in your career, there's things that you do in your life that you never forget, that stay with you your whole life. Winning a championship, winning a race. But being at Indy and being a part of Indy is one of those things that I will never forget.
Yeah, and you know, I think Tony and Bill France Jr. said it best. We're starting a new tradition. I look at Daytona and go back to my grandfather winning the first race, Fireball Roberts, Junior Johnson, and then later, Darrell Waltrip, Richard Petty, Dale Earnhardt. That's tradition. That's why Daytona will always be Daytona to NASCAR and to stock car racing guys. When you look at the history that Ken just explained from open wheel, and you look at Unsers and Allisons and Ruttman and guys like that came along and won this race, now you look at the 9 that have won for us. They are the cream of the crop. They are the guys. And when we look back in 15 or 20 years at that, you'll say that's where that tradition started, with the cream of the crop.
I hate to admit this, but I do have one of those helmets with the leather side.
Back in the days when they wore shirts like this instead of fire suits out there on the track. You know, there is a bit of crossover going on here. We have 3 past Indy 500 winners in this race today, and Jacques Villeneuve, Juan Pablo Montoya, and Sam Hornish Jr. With that in mind, let's check out some more history and rejoin our good friend Kenny Wallace.
Well, hello, race fans. Here we are at the Indianapolis Museum, and check this out. I still have my pass. This is the most important thing. But you know what? Check this old register out. It says constructed in 1909. It is unchallenged as the world's oldest continuously operated race course in the site of the largest one-day sport event for auto racing. This Indianapolis Museum is pretty incredible because, you know, you can go in and see what everybody sees, but all the race car drivers in the garage area, check this out. Check these old race cars out. It's a beautiful area to come see. Make sure you come see it when you come to this racetrack. But what's incredible is in the basement, people like Darrell Waltrip, Kyle Petty, they say, can I get in the basement? Everything has a secret. The museum has a secret, kind of like an old haunted house. Everybody wants to be in the basement to check out all the things that you can't see. But upstairs, you can see things like, you know, there was 2 cars. Or, you know, you have one car with 2 people in it, and you're like, that guy would say, hey, Frank, there's somebody on the inside of you. He's on the inside. Then the mirror came along, so they got rid of that guy, went to 1 car. Look at her. Hey, kid, put a shirt on.
No, it's too hot.
Who signed your shirt right there?
You.
Okay, hey, sweetheart, how you doing?
Good.
What's that hat you got on?
Dale Jr.
You want me to sign over his name?
No.
Oh, I bring the best out of people. She doesn't want me to sign over her hat. And look here, we got Richard Petty here. Big fan of Richard Petty. AJ Allmendinger. Tell me your favorite part of the museum.
The old motorcycles.
Motorcycles. They raced motorcycles here?
They did.
When did they race motorcycles?
Oh, probably 100 years ago.
Only 100 years ago, Daryl Waltrip, when you were born. I love you, Daryl. So what is your, that was funny. What's your favorite part of the museum?
When they first went to the rear-engine cars in the 60s.
So a lot of race fans love the past. JR, we're out of the museum and back to you guys.
All right. Thanks a lot, Kenny. I love the little girl. She said no, to Kenny right away.
I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get that boy. Too.
He has that effect on a lot of women. But anyway, we got to take a quick break here on NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot. When we come back, anger management. It's not just for short tracks.
Not only is he a new dad, he's won 3 of the last 4 at the Brickyard. And what better way to reward JJ than handing him the mic and letting him spout off? Jimmy takes us on a trip to Johnsonville for some inside info. NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot.
As we head into this year's version of the Brickyard 400, we have to go back to the beginning of the season and remember the 4 words that perhaps changed this season more than anything else, and they were, have at it, boys. We have seen some tempers flare on the racetrack, and recently it's been between Carl Edwards and Brad Keselowski. Let's take a look back at this short but angry history.
Got a heck of a field of cars and some strong racing out there. You can go right down to the checkered flag.
Buckle up your seatbelts. This is going to be a wild ride.
Here come Carl Edwards and Brad Keselowski. They're up to 3rd, and now they're looking for more in the high lane.
Carl Edwards will get around and take over the lead in turn 1.
Contact here at the tri-oval. Edwards goes up in the air. Brad Keselowski comes by. He'll score the win in the Aaron's 499.
I got to apologize to Carl for wrecking him, but man, the rule is you can't go below the yellow line, and he blocked, and I wasn't going below it. So I don't want to wreck a guy, but you're forced in that situation. So, but there's nothing else I could do.
Extremely grateful Brad was pushing me. That was my only chance to win, you know. I guess if I had to do over again, I'd just move over and let him go and finish 4th. You know, I wouldn't even try to win because you're going to have wrecks like that if you try.
3 wide, going in there. Whoa!
Carl gets tapped from behind. Look out, couldn't get hit. He gets all guy up. Looks like Brad Keselowski gets in the back of the 60 car and spins him. And here they going.
There's going to be some people that want to talk to him, I think.
I got in the back of Carl. That's the one I feel the worst about. I didn't know he was going to make that move, but you know, that's the box we're put into. Is the harder you race and the rougher you race, the more you're rewarded. It seems like. So I might have got a little too far out there a couple times, but you know, the fans love it.
We're about to get it on in the Cobalt 500 here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway.
12 just wrecked us. I had room. I went down, and then he hit us from behind. Just watch him here. He's going to do something stupid. Just make sure he doesn't. Just use your head. Looking back inside.
Trouble on the front stretch. A car has slammed the wall.
And that is the machine of Brad Keselowski.
And that car got up on its roof. That was a hard crash there, the big-time crash there.
You okay, buddy? Talk to me now. I don't know if I'm okay.
You know what? I think this was Carl Edwards' payback for what happened earlier in this race.
Let me know if he gets out. He's out, bud. All right, good.
It'll be interesting to see how NASCAR reacts to it. They have the ball. If they're going to allow people to intentionally wreck each other at tracks this fast, we will hurt someone either in the cars or in the grandstand. So it's not cool to intentionally wreck somebody at 195 mile an hour.
At the end of the day, we come out here to race, and people got to have respect for one another, and I have a lot of respect for people's safety, and I wish that wouldn't have gone like it did, but I'm glad he's okay, and we'll just go on and race some more, and maybe him and I won't have any more incidents together. That'd be the best thing.
One more lap to deal with Brad Keselowski. Keselowski fights back on the inside.
Whatever happens now, this race.
Oh! Keselowski gets into Edwards. They save it. Drag race down the backstretch now. This is going to be down to the wire. Oh, touch! He spun out. Pruitt gets into Keselowski. Carl Edwards will win.
That's it. Checker flag. Superstar, man. You are the man. He deserves it. Good job.
Brad got into Carl, getting out on turn 1, racing him. They bumped, they rubbed. Typical rubbing racing deal. Carl flipped out like he did at Atlanta and tried to kill the kid. I'm sick and tired of this. I'll get my own damn uniform back on and take care of this. He ain't gonna kill my boy.
he just got in over his head and tried too hard, and it was at my expense. So that was at his expense, and we got our win. But I think he could have got me without hitting me. I think his car was good enough. We could have been side by side across the finish line, and I would have much rather had that. But we got the trophy.
I'm sure he'll say something and say how sorry he is, or how cool he thinks he is, or how great of a guy he is in his own mind. But you know, that's just not the reality.
Well, this was the reality from NASCAR. They hit them both with NASCAR probation, both Keselowski and Carl Edwards as well, till the end of the season. But also Carl was docked 60 owner and driver points and also a $25,000 fine. Now, that was a talk all weekend long after the Nationwide Series race, but the combatants were still talking when we got here to Indy.
Yeah, I can see why Carl would be upset having not seen, because you got to remember in the car, you don't have the benefit of seeing it on TV. You don't have you only see what's in front of it, and all he knew was that I made contact with him. So, yeah, I can see why he would be upset. I mean, I'm sure he probably felt like I went down there and intentionally hit him.
I would have much rather. I would rather finish second in a good race than have to win a race the way I won the race.
You know, I have a way of letting go pretty easily on things like that. And I'm assuming based on Carl's reaction that he does too.
No, there's nothing personal between Brad and I. From my side, there's not. You know, I have a lot of respect for him and what he does on the racetrack. The problem is that he, you know, he can't just run into me to get an advantage, especially for wins. That's happened way too much between us. And the part that I'm real happy with on these penalties. I can accept my penalty, but I'm happy that NASCAR recognized that that Brad needed to be penalized too. That you know, that my race car could have been the one turned around, run into by people behind me, all in his pursuit of a win. And I think it's important that NASCAR recognize that.
Gentlemen, has this gone too far?
Well, JR, here's what I compare it to, folks. It's like being in a ring and you're in a fight, and you can beat the brains out of your opponent. You can hit him all you want to, but if you hit him below the belt, they're going to call a penalty on you. And Carl hit Brad below the belt coming to the line. And so NASCAR, they had to draw a line in the sand. This is not just a feud. This is a rivalry that has gone on since last year, and NASCAR had to do something. They don't have a have-at-it boys problem. They have a Carl and Brad problem, and that's what they're trying to get their arms around and get stopped.
So the punch that Brad threw before, that was okay. That was not below
that was above the belt,
okay.
And that was hard short track racing.
Why was that not okay? I don't understand why Brad was penalized. If you're going to penalize Brad for getting into Carl in turns 1 and 2, then you got to go to New Hampshire and penalize the 2 and the 48 for the way they raced the last 5 laps, because they just moved each other up, passed, moved each other up, passed. That's racing, and that is that have-at-it boys attitude. You know, and I want to go back to that the whole scenario we just watched. Every one of those moves, no matter what you say, have-at-it boys, whatever you say, was for position, except for what happened at Atlanta. And that's why NASCAR should have stepped in at Atlanta and done something. They didn't do anything, so this sets on their doorstep. The reason this is happening is because they won't make a hard decision. Lindsay Lohan wishes she had NASCAR judging her and she could be on probation the rest of her life. Because these people are on probation for the rest of their life.
I know he's on probation, but the reason
what does that mean?
The reason they put him on probation.
Let me show you what it means.
NASCAR word. All right,
you
slap on the wrist.
Don't do that.
It means nothing.
But NASCAR's statement on that was the fact they didn't want Brad to retaliate against Carl, so they put him on probation.
Wait a minute, I'm turning my stuff down. I don't want to hear this. There's more spin here. There's more spin here than there was in the last presidential election. I don't want to hear it right now. Let's move on.
Okay, well, here's a good way to get from there to back on the racetrack. Let's go to Kenny Wallace. And Kenny, you know, short tracks aren't the only place to require anger management training. We saw some famous incidents out here on this racetrack as well.
Hey, speaking of anger, race fans, you say, Kenny, why are you in turn 3 at Indianapolis? Well, this is the scene of the crime. Our own Jimmy Spencer said, Kurt Busch, I have had enough of you. Check Jimmy Spencer out. He wrecks Kurt Busch right here. Admits it, I'd wreck him, so get over it. Here at the Brickyard. Now, my favorite part about this is they made a couple laps around the racetrack, gave Kurt a little time to cool off, and Kurt finally said, looky here, Jimmy Spencer, here's Kurt giving the reaction to Jimmy, just a nice little reaction. And then here we go again. Here we go. Kurt says, listen, I'm upset with you. But let me tell you, this is what people were doing for years. Watch this, race fans. I think he was telling him to go to the back of the pack or kiss his butt, either one like that. But race fans, listen, whether you're going 60 mile an hour at ORP last night or you're running 214 mile an hour getting into the corner here, it gets pretty dicey. So later on, we'll be over in turn 4. We'll show you some soft walls. You say to yourself, some of these race fans are like, I'm mortified. I can't believe these drivers are wrecking each other. We'll show you what are keeping these drivers a little bit safe later on. JR?
Kenny, thanks a lot. This could be the biggest day in some driver's life today. When we come back, we'll hear from some of the drivers who could pull off a feat that they will never forget, and that's by winning the Brickyard 400. Stick around, everybody. Welcome back, everyone, to NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot, coming to you live from Indianapolis. 8 of the last 12 Brickyard winners have gone on to win a championship, and the last 2 have been Jimmy Johnson. But it was 2009 that he really made his mark known here at the Brickyard.
It's the once-a-year chance to win at Indianapolis for NASCAR Sprint Cup Series drivers. The history in Indianapolis tells us that the big-name drivers tend to win here.
You have to get yourself in a position to win this race when it counts, and that's in those last 10 laps.
Thank y'all for such a beautiful race car. It's paying off all year. Let's go get us another one. 10-4, buddy. 160 of our best. We'll go get them.
Green flag is out at 2x2 down the front stretch. They're all locked together.
Martin wobbles a little bit in turn 1, and Montoya will get the spot.
Clear, beautiful.
5 points. Nice job.
Right now is the time to really get singled out here and then push your car a little bit. See where the weak spots are that you may want to work on later.
That's way too loose. Real how bad traffic affects us.
I can feel it blister. I also have a chatter in the front now. Holding car a lot faster than the leader, but you're doing great.
Watch, try to move around and change some things up a little bit.
These guys trying to run down Juan Pablo Montoya. Yeah, he's running almost a half a second quicker than anybody else right now.
It's all about pace, my friend. Nice and smooth. We're going to have to do some green flag pit stops, it looks like, here. Give me 3 good hard laps, man. Pit next time, pit next time. This time, Mark, this time. All the way, all the way, all the way, all the way. Go, 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 get to the wall, all out. Go, all the way out. Okay, good pit stop there.
Too fast entering, pass through.
This is going to be devastating.
No way, I guarantee you, I bet you money.
Okay, so relax.
What do you want me to relax, dude? We had this in the bag. 42 just got a penalty. You're the leader.
A good rub.
Thank you, NASCAR, for screwing my day.
And in the blink of an eye, the complexion of this race has changed, and it's opened up opportunities for some of these other drivers.
They're running 2/10 of a second faster than the 5 car directly ahead of you. As soon as they get by him, you're going to check out.
He's going to slide down in front of Martin. Jimmy Johnson to the point.
Leader, 48.
What a power move that 48 made on Mark Martin.
Shoot, sorry, guys. You got him. Go get him. Yeah, I see where I can get him. I got a chance at him here.
Jimmy Johnson's mirrors are full of the number 5 of Mark Martin.
It's going to take all 400 miles to decide this one.
I gave it all I had. He just beat me off a 4 too much there.
Jimmy Johnson becomes a 3-time winner at the Brickyard.
Yes, boys! Hell yes! I have never had an old man make me so nervous in my life.
You are awesome, dude. You are absolutely incredible.
Well, there it is, Jimmy Johnson kissing the bricks, 2009. You've won here 3 times, and let's just face it, some places we go to are just different. I guess as many times you could win here, all the better, huh?
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, I think everyone here has a story of what Indy means to them, and it's meant a lot to me as a kid growing up, watching races and hoping to race here, and win 3 times and be out there kissing the bricks. It's an amazing experience. It's a really tough track to drive, so as one of our marquee events, and to have it be so difficult, the Daytona 500 is very tough to win, but it takes other elements to win. Here, it's about you and your team and how your car's set up and what you do, so it makes it a little bit more difficult to win.
Assess the 48 team right now. You guys are always the center of attention, whether you're winning or struggling, as some people said you were early this year. Assess the state of the 48 team right now.
We're in good shape. I mean, we started the year strong and knew that we weren't maybe the fastest car and went to work on some things. And I think we're a lot smarter today, and we have some new stuff that's come along that's working well for us. And I feel we're at a point now where we're refining that stuff and just in time for the chase. So I feel very good about our race team. We've won 5 races this year, tied with Denny, and hopefully we can win a few more before the chase starts. And if not, just get in there and grind out those 10 weeks.
What can you learn? We talked about it at Chicagoland. Chad said maybe a new generation car, your latest and greatest stuff. You didn't get the finish you wanted at Chicago, but the car was fast. How do you separate what was good on the racetrack and take out some of those other variables to make sure you continue building your stuff for the future?
Yeah, the first half of the race went really, really well. Obviously, we led, I think, 92 laps or something. Then with the spin, and I got in the grass and did some damage to the car and things like that, and we just weren't the same after that. But if I look at the first half of the race and really qualifying and practice sessions leading up to it, we made a lot of ground and got really smart with our race car and our new stuff that we're trying. So this weekend is an extension of that again, and next weekend will be, and we'll just keep progressing and hopefully have our stuff right when the chase starts.
And before we let you go, we want to catch you up on, you guys take a shot of this helmet. Jimmy will wear this helmet in Fontana later this year. A cool charity feature you guys got going on, the Helmet of Hope, where fans and media members can go to helmetofhope.org and enter their charity. You guys are choosing 2 charities a week to donate $10,000 to each one of those charities. Tell us how that came about. That's a cool deal you guys got going on.
Yeah, it was a great idea that our office came together with to recognize a lot of the smaller charities around the country, allow the media to put up names and charities in mind, and same with the fans to vote as well, and send, or not vote, but send theirs in. And then we have a random draw that we do each week and determine the 12 that go on the helmet. Samsung has come on this board and has supported us, and the support that they're giving us not only has brought a lot of credibility to the program, but they've also had us on the end of their national commercials as well. So great exposure for our foundation, and then all the other smaller charities that are going on this helmet as well.
Well, I want you to know that I did enter the Herman Elliott Sadler Foundation. Do you have any idea how these charities are picked at all?
It's a random draw. We have a computer that I hit the button and it spins around some numbers, and that's who I pull.
Well, I know it's a random draw, but is possibly anything that I can do to get a little call in for just make it a little less random, for the Herman Elliott Sadler Foundation?
Do you have any Benjamins in there? I mean, we're a little light here.
I'm just a pit reporter there, Jimmy. You're going to have to take what I got. Here's a couple more, but we're going to get to Wendy so we get this stuff off camera. But thank you guys for everything you do on and off the racetrack, and give me my money back.
You got it, man. Thank you.
All right, Wendy. Oh, JR?
All right, Hermie, so let me see if I got this straight. You want 10 grand from Jimmy Johnson and you give him 5. I don't think that's going to work. Hey, but what will work is listening to Chad Knaus. He's been on top of the pit box for 3 victories for the number 48, and he has our Sunoco pit strategy of the week.
We come to Indianapolis, it's all about strategy. And if you want to work your strategy right here, you've got to have great fuel mileage. This is a very long racetrack, 2.5 miles with very long straightaways. The pit entrance is very, very close to the exit of turn number 4. So if you happen to run out of fuel as you're going down the front straightaway, there's no way you're even going to make it back around to pit road. So you really have to be on your game. When you're working your way towards the end of the race, track position is going to be the key. You have to make sure that you've got enough fuel to make it to the end of the race, but you've got to be towards the front. Passing is very difficult here, and if you are lucky enough to be the car that's out front, the guy that's behind you is going to have a heck of a time trying to pass you. So here we go again, guys. Tires, track position, and enough fuel to make it to the end of the race, and maybe you'll get to victory lane. And I can tell you from experience, there's nothing like being in victory lane here at Indianapolis.
And Chad Knaus should know, been there 3 times. After the checkered flag is waved, be sure to check out NASCAR Victory Lane, fueled by Sunoco, and catch all of the race highlights in raw emotion straight from Victory Lane. Also go to speedtv.com, keyword Sunoco, to enter for your chance to win an autographed flag signed by the winner of today's race. And that will be a very happy Victory Lane, because whoever's going to win it is going to take home 1 big trophy and 1 big check. But tomorrow night, only one NASCAR show delivers the drivers, crew chiefs, and the latest news and information and expert analysis from the epicenter of NASCAR. This week, the Race Hub in a full hour will feature Juan Pablo Montoya and also a trip to Michael Waltrip Racing. We still have much more to come from Indy. You can feel the excitement down in that fan canyon. Fans on both sides of the racetrack as these drivers get ready to take the green flag and go racing for 400 hard, long miles. Welcome back to Indy, everybody. Let's take a look at yesterday morning's qualifying session. Kevin Harvick led a charge by the Chevrolet cars as they claim most of the top 10. Kevin Harvick has sat on the pole here before, and that, in fact, was the race that he went on to win. Now, the only non-Chevrolet car in the top 10 was the Biff. Greg Biffle put his Ford in the 7th spot. Now, let's go on to some more qualifying runs that were very good. Jamie McMurray was part of that charge for Chip Ganassi Racing as he qualified 4th. And he will have a good view of the green flag. Jimmy Johnson will be outside of row number 1 as he qualified 2nd as he goes for 3 Brickyard victories in a row. But how about Juan Pablo Montoya? First race ever here. He started 2nd and finished 2nd, so now he is the pole sitter. If he can pull off what he did on the first race here, is finishing where he started, he will be the Brickyard 400 champion. Let's now take a Home Depot hot lap around this place with Joey Logano.
Hey, I'm Joey Logano with your Home Depot Hot Lap. This week we're in Indy. About the only place we can compare this to is a little bit of Pocono through turn 2, maybe turn 3 over there, just because you're flat. Turn 2 especially, though, just because it's a fast, short little turn, kind of like these are here. And you know, it's 4 turns here, so you're trying to get them all to tie together. And it's similar to Pocono that way because there's 3 there. So there's a lot of different things about them, but you know, you see a lot of guys that run good at Pocono will run good here. So hopefully we can do that. We're going to finish 5th there at Pocono, so I felt like we had a good car. So winning here at Brickyard could be the coolest thing ever, you know. So definitely going to give it the best shot we can with the Home Depot Toyota. So that's your Home Depot Hot Lap.
Joey, thanks a lot. Of course, the youngest driver ever to start a Brickyard. He did that last year and finished in the 12th spot. But, guys, this is an absolutely unique racetrack, and that's why way back in the day they said, hey, man, these taxi cabs can't run here. Stock cars can't go here.
Yeah, it only has 9 degrees of banking, and that's, you know, that's not a lot of banking for a stock car. There are some really good places to pass, though. If you can, it's a momentum racetrack. If you can keep your speed up off of turn 2 and off of turn 4 and get out on these long straightaways, Kyle, you know, with this new car configuration, the spoiler, that draft is going to be huge.
Yeah, and you know, and we knew stock car races could race here because they'd run Ontario, and Ontario was a copy of this place many years ago. But the funny part to me is this, is that the guys that are talking, that we've heard from Ryan, we've heard from different drivers, you talk about it being a momentum track, and we've heard from Chad on the Sunoco pit report here. It's all about strategy and track position. Nobody talks about who has the fastest car anymore. They all talk about making the right calls at the right time, and that's where racing has changed, and that's where Indy and strategy is so important for this place.
This is just a cool part of the racetrack, though, here. I know you guys, when you're driving the race car, you don't think about it too much, but it's the pageantry of this place. This fan canyon, having fans on both sides of the racetrack on the front stretch, is just pretty darn cool.
Well, driving into turn 1 is a totally different perspective than driving into turn 3. Turn 1 is literally like driving into the grandstand. You go down that straightaway over 200 miles an hour looking right at the fans. You make a hard left-hand turn. Now, when you go down the back, it's much more open. It's much more panoramic. You got a lot, see how much more view you have as you go down into turn 3. Actually makes it a little bit more difficult, I think, because you got nothing to really judge off of how fast or how quickly you're getting to that corner. So 2 totally different ends of the racetrack with 2 totally different views.
And I know we saw Kenny earlier up on the pagoda up there and shining, and the camera shot down on the front stretch. You can't believe how narrow this front stretch is. And when you come off turn 4 and you look down to turn 1, it's like you're going to thread the eye of a needle with that car when you get there. And when you get there, you're running 200 miles plus. So it's pretty tough.
When they go 3 wide here, you know what you hear on the radio? Caution's out.
Yeah.
You okay?
Yeah, and we will see.
Will it crank?
Yes, and we'll see a competition caution, what, lap 15, 20, somewhere in there?
That's what I'm seeing on Twitter, but I don't know. How would I know?
With the weather that we've had.
You're supposed to know, man. You're the expert, Kyle.
That's normal procedure.
Yeah,
When we've had weather like this, rain, they'll have a caution 15, 20 laps.
All right, let's go now to Kenny Wallace, who is at another part of this racetrack to show us another cool thing about Indy. Kenny?
Our lap is almost over. We're coming off of turn 4, and we're going to talk about these soft walls. Look at the dents. These are 3/16 thick metal tubes, and what I want to show you is when you bend one of these, you've hit the wall hard. Now, check this out. Everybody says, okay, they look pretty, but this is where the tough side is. This foam is in here. We've seen these pieces of foam compressed all the way to here. You know, I heard one time somebody say this, and I'll never forget it. They say, how barbaric. Remember years ago when we used to just run into a concrete wall? How nice it is now to hit something like this and see this safety innovation move all the way to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. because of the death of Dale Earnhardt, you know, some of this was made up pretty quick. They're like, hey, look, we've got to do something. Now, one thing I also like to say is, like Darrell Waltrip and Kyle was saying, here we are off of turn 4 down the front straightaway. I call this the hallowed grounds of Indy. When you come down this front straightaway, you look on the right, you look on the left. The only racetrack that I know of in the United States where you get down to that start-finish line and you say to yourself, what have I got myself into? Then all of a sudden comes turn 1. You're looking at the fans, you're looking at their eyeballs, and you got to get it on, because this is the hallowed grounds of Indy, guys. JR?
Kenny, thanks a lot. And it's innovation of this racetrack. The safer barrier, the steel and foam energy reduction barriers went in here first before they went to other tracks around the country. And they certainly are a wonderful safety innovation. You know, Kenny mentioned a moment ago that the motorcycles raced at this track a long time ago. Well, they are back. The MotoGP at Indianapolis is August 27th and 29th. Tickets start at $40. You can go to the Speedway's website to find your tickets, or you can just watch it on Speed as we have you covered the whole way. The MotoGP World Championship from Indianapolis is Sunday, August 29th. Race coverage starts at 6 Eastern, and it is only on Speed. When we come back, we will talk to more drivers, and we'll find out exactly what they would sacrifice to win here at Indy. Welcome back, everybody, to NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot. This is Brickyard 400 Day here at Indy, and it is a big one. So big, Tony Stewart wanted this win so bad, he talked about spending his childhood out on 16th Street, peering in to this racetrack, looking at his heroes, and then he became a 2-time winner of this event. Let's hear what Tony has to say about racing at the Brickyard.
You know, a win at Indy's special no matter whether you're a car owner, a driver, or both. It's a race that we all want to win. I mean, it means that much more to me because I'm from here. So it's a big weekend. It seems like historically, if you have a good weekend here, it builds a lot of momentum for that last half of the season. You know, it's a cool place, and it's always been a cool place for me to dream about, and you know, now I get to realize that.
Tony is one of those drivers who is in that hot seat right now as he finds himself in 9th in points, so he may not be looking exactly for the win today, but maybe looking to maintain his position in the top 12.
Yeah, I think he is, and that team has actually gotten a little bit better over the last several weeks, and I think they can credit testing for that. I heard Tony say a couple of weeks ago, we got behind, we went out and did a lot of testing. Yeah. Felt like they're back.
And Kyle, here is the danger zone. Dale Earnhardt Jr. just 15 points out.
Yeah, when you look at Earnhardt Jr., we heard Clint Boyer say, yes, I would love to win here, but it's important for us to get those 3 RCR cars in the chase. So I think when you look from Carl back to all these guys, you're going to look at these guys and you're going to say, do they want a trophy from the Brickyard 400? The answer to that is unequivocally, yes, they want a trophy. But what do they want more than that? They want a championship trophy, and they want to get in the chase. And I'm telling you, that's what a lot of these guys, they're running just good enough that they're there, and they can't sacrifice this race.
What I keep hearing today from most of these drivers and most of these owners is mistakes. And that's because of what happened to Juan Pablo last year. That mistake he made on pit road cost him that win. And I've heard crew chiefs, drivers, owners all talking about, let's not make any mistakes today. They don't want to beat themselves. That's the worst defeat you can possibly have. That's what Juan did last year. I think it's really drawn a lot of focus on running a mistake-free race today. That's going to be the key to winning, I believe.
Juan Pablo Montoya is one of 3 Indy 500 winners in the field today. We also have Jacques Villeneuve and Sam Hornish Jr., and what a double crown that would be for a driver to put a Brickyard 400 trophy up there next to his Indy 500 trophy in the case back at home. Let's go to Wendy Venturini.
Thank you, Johnny. Yeah, I don't know what would be more prestigious for Sam Hornish, obviously winning here at Indianapolis. How cool is it to now race here in the Cup Series and try and make that twice?
It's a lot of fun, but it's tough work. The cars are so much different between the Indy cars and the stock cars here. And last year we thought we had a really good car here. We ran well most of the beginning of the race, and I made a mistake and kept us from having the finish that we should have had. But yesterday our car wasn't very good at the beginning of practice, but Travis and Steve worked on it real hard, trying to make sure that we got some things going, and we felt better at the end of practice, made some changes overnight. So I think that we've got an opportunity to run well here. We might not be lightning fast at the beginning of a run, but we felt that our car didn't fall off quite as much as maybe some of the other ones did. So hopefully that'll be the case today.
You hear how difficult it is to pass at this racetrack. So you're starting 25th. What is your goal and your strategy when you get out there? You got to get some track position.
Well, I mean, the great thing about how things are set up now is, you got the double file restarts. We're going to have some pit stops, so there's a lot on those guys' shoulders today. But it's a long race. Last year we started 15th, and we were able to pass, and we just, I just got impatient. That's the thing. I just need to make sure that I don't lose my patience this year, and I just, have a good, strong day. We're obviously, we would love to win, but we're here to try to get a top 10 out of today, and we'll see how everything plays out from there. But Mobile One Dodge, we as practices went on, we felt like we continued to get better and better. Hopefully, we'll be able to keep heading that direction.
And how much closer are we to plans for 2011? Any updates, Sam?
I don't know if we're close to anything, but we're definitely still up in the air on a lot of things. But the biggest plan is to get through the rest of this year, to do the best that we can for Mobile. They've been a great supporter of mine in Penske Racing for a long time. So just trying to continue to move forward with that, and we start getting the finishes that we feel like we in running where we feel like we're capable of. Everything else will take care of itself. So we just need to take care of our job out on the track and see how everything else unfolds.
All right, good luck to you, Sam, and congratulations to you and Crystal. Of course, Crystal due in December. Another baby announcement that we've heard here throughout the racing world. Hermie, I think you are with another Indianapolis 500 winner.
Another Indianapolis 500 winner, Jacques Villeneuve. And of all the things we can say or do to see how special this race is, watching you on Friday, before your qualifying lap, after your qualifying lap on Saturday rather, making sure you were going to get this car on the show, what a big relief it was. Congratulations.
Yeah, it was. It was very stressful because we weren't really ready. It's a new track for the team. It's a new car. And I haven't been in a Cup car for over 2 years. So it was tough and very stressful, and getting in the show was what we really wanted.
Well, now you're in the show now. What are your goals for today? And how do you assess your chances? I mean, a lot of you can only go forward from where you're at, but how was your car in happy hour, and what are your goals for today?
Well, we weren't very happy with the car, but as I said before, we're all discovering how it'll work. So we have the whole race to try and fix it. Right now, we're not quick enough to move forward. Just try and stay out of trouble and get the car better during the race.
Well, congratulations on being here. Another one of the cool stories here in Indianapolis. And Jacques tells me after today, you can see him in the Nationwide Series race coming up in Montreal.
Hermie, thanks a lot. Great job by that crew to get the car into the race. They will be competing today, and who knows, once you're in there, almost anything can happen here at Indy. Want to know who we think's going to win this race? When we come back, we will have our Sunoco performance picks. So stick around, everybody. More race day coming your way. Hey race fans, how would you like to have an official Sunoco racing fuel can? Visit speedtv.com/Sunoco for entry details, official rules, and drawing dates. And now it is time for our Sunoco performance picks. And I don't know, but there's one team that's been performing pretty well right now, moving up through the rankings. I don't know quite who it is. Kyle, he's up on top of the standings, but it's been Daryl that's been picking for him the whole time.
And guess who's going to pick again today?
Daryl. I think you
Let's
better
go to
run.
DW, baby. Who do we have this week, man? You've been doing good. I've been on the Turner thing, on the TNT thing. You said we couldn't pick the 48, and so that's what they told me. I didn't say we
around.
I thought about the 42,
okay,
but let's take the 29.
Let's go 29.
Let's go 29 today. What
29.
29.
29.
Right,
We're
guys
going
are
hard.
going for 29, going for a former winner of this event.
Yes, we are.
All right, now last time Juan Pablo Montoya came here and qualified second, he went on to finish second in the race. This time, he's qualified first, and he's going to go on to finish first. I'm taking Juan Pablo Montoya.
I don't know
And
about
you
that.
got a problem with that? You got a problem with that?
I don't know about that.
That was weak, man. That was weak.
Was weak.
That was good. That was good. No.
Juan Pablo Montoya is going to win this thing. Kenna Wallace, I don't care what anybody says.
Well, I don't know who I should pick. What do you think? I don't know. Let me think. Who should I pick? Who's got hats around here?
Hey, Jimmy!
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am picking Jimmy Johnson. He's won 3 out of the last 4 races, and until he loses, I will continue to pick him. But Jimmy Johnson, man, he's been hot here.
I think there's something wrong with the miscalculation of our fantasy points. I don't remember being this far down, guys. Something wrong. All right, well, I'll tell you who I'm going with. I am going with Casey Kane. We know those other guys that you guys mentioned, yeah, they're good. But who's going to be kissing these bricks? It's going to be Casey Kane, and hopefully I'll gain some points. To you guys. Who's last? Hermie?
Oh,
Hermie?
thanks, Wendy. Yeah, I'm last. Go ahead and get that out there. Hey, look at my box right here. The GoDaddy Chevrolet none other than Mark the Kid Martin, as Kenny Wallace said, from Batesville, Arkansas. His qualifying run yesterday was the most impressive run of the day. It came late in the session. He qualified third, and Mark Martin said earlier this weekend he had been disrespected by people telling him he should move out of that 5 car. I think he goes back to victory lane today. Johnny?
Hermie, thanks a lot. That's a good point right there. You don't go telling Mark Martin what he can or can't do, because he will prove you wrong in a heartbeat. We could well see that car number 5 in victory lane today. We got to take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll get you down in the middle of all the action and all the pageantry here at the Brickyard 400. It's a special place to be, and we'll be back in a moment.
Next week, the calendar turns to August, and with the chase just around the corner, the boys head to the PA, where Hamlin goes for his 3rd win in a row at the funkiest shape on the circuit. Will anyone else stake their claim to victory lane? Live from Pocono at 10 a.m. NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot.
NASCAR Race Day is built by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Brought to you in part by the General Automobile Insurance Services. For the best car insurance rates in town, call 1-800-GENERAL now. And by new Wheaties Fuel. Prepare to win.
Welcome back, everyone, to NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot, coming to you live from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We are just about 1 hour away from the green flag at the 17th running of the Brickyard 400. Certainly one of the most coveted trophies in all of motorsports, and also one of the most famous venues anywhere in the world of sports. For more, let's go to Wendy Venturini.
Well, thank you, Johnny. We just heard from Sam Hornish, who's won here in the Indianapolis 500, but he said some of the keys to winning are going to be right here on pit road. What does that mean for these crew guys that go over the wall? A lot of pressure to gain track position. It's so difficult to pass here at the Brickyard that a lot of that time is going to be made up right here in this pit stall. Now, Jeff Gordon, who's won here 5 times at the Brickyard, obviously wants to get another one and get some more points. Of course, we've been talking about points, but the 24 pit crew has some pressure. They start 8th, and hopefully these teams will be gaining track position right where we are standing on pit road. Johnny?
Let's go to Hermie.
Yeah, I'm going to talk a little bit here about this pit road too, Wendy. And of all the things that are so big at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, look how narrow and small this pit road is. Not a lot of room to get the car out of the pit box, get back on pit road, get clear, and get those important positions on pit road. And we're joking in the meeting this morning, one of the best places to pass at this racetrack is on pit road. And the crew chiefs today, you will have to earn your money, because not only tires, fuel strategy, getting the car to handle, but you've got a very different weather condition today than we've had all weekend long. A lot cooler and overcast. The crew chief will definitely earn the money today, and working with the spotters, sometimes 2 spotters at this racetrack, will be key to getting your driver in position to try to win this race today. Johnny?
Hermie, thanks a lot. This racetrack is big. It requires 2 spotters, but also what is big is this trophy and also the paycheck that goes along with it.
Yeah, a couple of keys to the race today, I think, is the track position, as we've already talked about. That is created in the pits. There's some prime real estate in that pits. There are 3 great pit boxes. The 42 has one, the 48 has one, and the 5 has one. Don't know about tires. Nobody's run a fuel run on a set of tires. And we could go on and on about things to watch for today. What do you got, Kyle?
My final thoughts are this. There are 16 races that we've run. There's been 9 different winners. We have an opportunity today to have the 10th winner, and I think that's going to be the big thing. There are guys that have not won this race that are running competitive enough that they can be a first-time winner here today. So that's what I'm looking for today.
And I did learn something today. They have dents in those walls. I have dents in my body from those walls. So those soft walls are certainly nice.
And let's remember, there are 3 words that could change the outcome of this race: green, white, checkers. For more, let's go to Kenny Wallace.
Jamie McMurray usually has McDonald's on his car. He's got Ronald McDonald catching a fish. Bass Pro is his sponsor. I think that was funny. Had to show you that. And, of course, here we are at the bricks. Check this out. I want to kiss them and see how they taste. Let me see. Oh, my God, they taste so good. I kissed the bricks. 1996, it was Todd Parrott when he won the Brickyard 400 with Dale Jarrett. He said, guys, let's kiss the bricks. They don't taste greasy. They taste good. Check them out.
So Kenny Wallace has just told us a combination of sand, oil, and burnt rubber tastes good. Now we've heard everything, but what we haven't heard yet is who is going to prevail in this very prestigious race this afternoon. The Brickyard 400 is one of a kind, and there will only be one winner hoisting the big trophy and the big check. We, of course, will have you covered lap by lap, door to door, flag to flag tonight on NASCAR Victory Lane, fueled by Sunoco. Join us then. Thanks for coming along for the ride, everybody.